Fires have devastating consequences, not just posing a threat to property, but also human life. Fires can also have detrimental impacts on the environment, with one of the largest associated environmental issues being water runoff from tackling the fire. Water is widely used to extinguish fire thanks to its accessibility and effectiveness, and typically water isn't hazardous and doesn't pose any threats. However, it can easily become contaminated by any material stored on site or combustion byproducts. Some water will evaporate from the fire, some will infiltrate into the ground, and any excess will run off. Firewater runoff can contain chemicals which are toxic to soils, drinking water, and aquatic life in surface water. Runoff can enter the environment through various pathways, including absorption into the ground, draining into both surface and foul drains, or runoff into bodies of water. The resulting pollution can cause detrimental environmental harm, particularly if groundwater becomes contaminated, and can even pose a threat to public health. Firewater can carry contaminants a long distance, expanding the impacted area. Alongside the environmental impacts, the polluter pays principle underpins most of the regulation of pollution affecting land, water, and air quality. If you do not manage firewater runoff, you could be prosecuted and be liable for the cleanup costs. It is important to carry out a thorough risk assessment. If you are yet to move into a property, we recommend also having a flood risk assessment. However, all businesses should consider their firewater regardless of how long they've been at a site. Enlisting a specialist will make the process much easier and ensure it's carried out accurately, efficiently, and in line with best practice and guidance. It's important this step is undertaken before there could be any potential risk from fire to ensure a thorough plan and procedure is in place. The risk assessment should consider areas such as the site topography, the drainage connectivity, along with the materials and substances stored on site, and the storage arrangements. There should also be consideration given to how much water is likely to be required to extinguish a fire. As part of the risk assessment, a drainage plan should be created and recorded, which will also be useful for site maintenance. Ideally, all relevant information should be stored within accessible BIM building information modelling software. Having the necessary policies and procedures in place will undoubtedly reduce the potential impact. All businesses should have robust emergency plans with higher risk sites such as COMA, control of major accidents and hazard sites, legally required to have more comprehensive and detailed plans. Many commercial and industrial sites store potentially hazardous chemicals or materials which would be highly polluting should they enter a watercourse with firewater. The subsequent runoff can lead to a major accident to the environment. To prevent firewater from causing pollution, it can be contained, reducing the risk of contamination occurring. There are various methods for contamination, which may include drainage shut-off valves, bunds, containment lagoons, or even underground storage tanks. More simple methods can also include aspects such as drainage covers or spill kits, and an experienced and qualified professional will be able to help you prepare for managing your firewater. Environmental protection is of paramount importance, and by assessing and managing the associated risks, natural resources and ecosystems can be safeguarded. Notwithstanding a company's regulatory obligations and noting that in the vast majority of instances the polluter pays, the expectations of corporate social responsibility alone make it good practice to demonstrate exemplary environmental compliance. Our team can help you by creating a firewater management plan which will identify ways to support water pollution prevention.